as usual. Delicious. Or
Pardon
should I
me?
say delicioso? I just wanted to say hello again, and I hope you guys will stick around. Al and I have a little treat coming up for Friday evening. We're going to do a like a charcuterie board type of barbecued, what I call niblets. See you there.
Gonna make some bruschetta. I call it bruschetta. Most people like it. I really enjoy it. This is a pretty simple deal. I make this all the time. I like to make it first. We're having a charcuterie board tonight. Plus I'm going to do some goodies in the oven. Wood-fired oven. Some chicken wings, some sausages, some mushrooms. What else do I got? I got some cheeses for the board. I'm going to make this bruschetta. I like it. I put them on a mix. I have some artisanal bread, I'll say. It's local bread. And it's called pan de agua, which is water bread. And I like to put this on. It's just tomatoes, onions, olive oil, balsamic vinegar, a little bit of salt and pepper, Parmesan cheese, and I put a little some parsley from the garden just to pretty it up. You could put cilantro, it would be good with cilantro. I try to cut everything pretty small. And I make it first and I put it in the fridge. Well, doesn't like the fridge so much. But bring it up just before I'm going to eat it. And I toast the bread on the fire. Get a little bit of char on the bread. Reminds me of my youth growing up. Oats off the campfire. Toasted bread on the open fire. The stove was good. I like to cut the onions really fine. And I got some Rampadano cheese. Hard cheese. I like this stuff. You get pretty much everything on the island here. Certain things are pricier. Well, certain things are much cheaper in Canada, and certain things are more expensive. So I like this file because it makes the cheese very fine and it mixes in well. So tomatoes, onions, salt, pepper, hard cheese, finely filed in. Got it in there. Okay, that's good. So I'll just shove that in the fridge for now. Okay, so I'm doing these potatoes. Now, typically if I got more time, I'll boil the potatoes. So I just cut some, got 4 little potatoes, I boiled them just to soften them up. And drain them of the water. So they're nice and soft. Take a knife and just go right in. Nice and soft. And I'm being careful not to break them. So I'll put them back in the pot. You see, I've got a lid that's clear because I'm going to smash them up. I'm going to lose a few potatoes. But it's all crumbly bits. If you look, all the crumbly bits, that's what I want. Because we're going to, if I have time, I'll leave them in the fridge. Sometimes I'll use baked potatoes from the day before, but these I just made today, and I'll let them cool down completely. So I'm going to carry on with the rest of the things I'm doing. I'm just let these cool down. It's one thing that's a little bit expensive, not real expensive, but it's more here than in Canada, is mushrooms, and I love mushrooms. So I buy industrial strength can of mushrooms. It's 2.5 kilos of mushrooms. I'm going to show you how to make canned mushrooms taste as good as fresh mushrooms. I'm going to say they taste better than fresh. If you have fresh mushrooms, you do the same process. You'll be shocked how much water comes out. And that's, people who make pizza who put fresh mushrooms on it. They're making a big mistake because there's so much water in the mushrooms. They makes the pizza soggy. So if you look, I just put them in the pan with the button down. A little pepper on them. No salt. A little bit of olive oil. And I put a big lump of butter in. This butter is salted, so I don't need any salt. And if you did that, the mushrooms would taste good. But this is called moules English in Portugal. It's Worcestershire sauce. And I was taught this in a French restaurant that I worked at when I was a boy. And it just makes the mushrooms taste so much better. It's incredible. It's one of those things. And I put it on. It's not that much, but I put some on. And then I put it on the stove on a very low heat. It boils the water off, and they brown a little bit more, but I'm not looking to cook them. I'm just looking to boil the water off. Because after, we're going to cook them in the wood-fired oven in a cast iron frying pan. They're delicious, and I do this for the mushrooms that I use on my pizza. I'll cook them like this, and then I'll slice them up. But tonight I'm going to eat, I love these things. They're button mushrooms. I don't slice them. So another thing I like doing these tomatoes. They're just so good. There's very little on them. I just get them, cut them in half, and place them in a wood-fired pan. I put some black pepper on. Put some black pepper on. Just put a little pinch of salt. A little more than that. Put a good glug of olive oil. Put a little bit of oregano on. And I'm going to put a little bit of rosemary on as well. Just a touch though, not much rosemary. So I'm going to prepare all these dishes, and then I'll light the fire and I'll put them in order. Potatoes, the potatoes got to go in as soon as the fire started. So that's done. So I've got this little pan, got some bacon. Yeah, it's not like bacon in Canada, it's different here, but I'm going to take about 4 slices. Cut it in half, and then I gotta cut it into pieces. I'm gonna strip it first. it'll go into the oven when the floor is hot, so it'll cook the bacon. It'll get the bacon cooking, because what I'm going to put on top is Brussels sprouts. Anyone who knows me knows Brussels sprouts are not part of mine. I just cut them in half. They get nice and crispy. Actually, the little tiny ones I won't cut them. And the edges of the flour, they get nice and crispy. It's really good. So bacon, a little bit of salt, some pepper if you want, and they're going to go in the oven around the same time as the potatoes. As I said, I'm going to put a little bit of pepper on. These taste really good with a lot of salt, but you got to be careful. I say salt them after. You want to cook them with a little bit of salt. You got to be careful, because sometimes the bacon puts in a lot of salt. So I'm going to say just put a little bit of salt. So that's ready. That'll be able to go into the oven, into the wood-fired oven too. Here we go. I call it the star. The potatoes, in my eyes, I put a little bit of olive oil. The potatoes are going to go in as soon as I light the fire, because they're going to take a while to cook. Everything else is pretty quick. A little bit of bacon fat. Let's look at our potatoes. Look at these things. They're all smashed up. So they're very delicate. I tell you, it looks like a lot of work, but it's a bit of work. These things are so crispy and fluffy on the inside, it's worth the hassle. Potatoes, I'm going to hit them with some pepper. A lot of pepper. And I'll salt those after they're done. The mushrooms, this is, it's actually a pan for cooking. Lipids? Limpets.
Portuguese and lapis.
Lapis, that's it. That's the word. So if you look, the mushrooms have cooked down. There's still some sauce in there. I say sauce, but there's still some water in there. But there's still the oil in the butter. So I'm gonna put them out there. They're cooked a little bit, but they're not perfect. I'm going to make them perfect. And this pan works good because the bottom heats up fast, and because it's so low, the sides of the mushrooms get, and I can spin it around. Look at that. Oh my God, that's beautiness. So those are ready. I'm gonna barbecue a couple chicken wings. Nothing special. These sausages are quite good. I'm going to do up a sausage, maybe 2 sausages. I've got 3 chicken wings. What I do with the chicken wings is I put the flat end first, because it'll be the farthest away from the fire. I go through on one side of the bone, and then I go through on the other side of the bone. I stretch it out. And the next one, I put the fattest part in. One side of the bone, and then I go on the other side of the bone. And then the last one, I do the same thing. Just pieced it. There we go. I got 3 chicken wings ready to barbecue. I got a little grill. I'm going to put one. And the sausages are just right down the side. 1, 2. So I got 2 skewers. Everything's ready, sitting on the stove. flew wide open. It's got a bunch of small pieces there to get it started, larger than top. So this is not it's not like I'm firing for a pizza, because typically for a pizza I'll start the oven an hour before to get it up to temperature. I'm cooking, it's more like an oven. It will get up to temperature by the end of it, by the time I'm done. So once the fire is going good, I'll just I'll sweep it over to the side. Typically I sweep it to the side because I'm typically making pizza. I try and keep logs underneath. So I want to get the potatoes in. Back. Tomatoes are good. I want to get the sausages going. Just get the chicken wings and sausages going in there. I got the potatoes and the tomatoes in there. And I got the chicken wings and the sausages on this little grill. And just keep the fire stoked on the side. 260, 270 Celsius right now. So the chicken wings are getting done. It's hard to get these cooked without burning them. No, they're coming good. A little char on that side. Sausages got one side a little toasty, but I don't mind. Brussels sprouts are boiling. Potatoes are boiling. And the tomatoes are boiling. Everything's coming along good. Keep the fire stoked. Another few minutes, we're good to go.
Everything looks delicious, Alan. Very nice.
Two little niblets together. Thank you for one thing.
Papa cheese.
Papa cheese. Let's get busy, people. Ching ching.
Alrighty. Bon appetit. I'm looking forward to this.
Chicken wings look good. You know, everything here can be cooked in an oven.
Yeah, but it doesn't taste the same.
It just doesn't taste the same. The fire is so different. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this all day.
Nice.
So, what's the verdict, Maria?
As usual. Delicious. Or
Pardon
should I
me?
say delicioso? Let's get busy.